दोस्तों, आज हमारे साथ जो मेहमान मौजूद हैं वो बहुत स्पेशल है मेरे लिए। नाम है उनका सुदर्शन शेषाद्री। मैं उनको अपना एक टीचर, अपना मेंटर मानता हूँ। मेरी उनसे जो फर्स्ट टाइम मुलाकात हुई थी तकरीबन 2-2.5 साल पहले हुई थी, एक टोस्ट मास्टर्स मीटिंग के अंदर। जब वो बोलते हैं लोग एडमायर करते हैं, लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं। मेरे साथ भी यही हादसा हुआ है। तो आज वो हमारे मेहमान बन के हमें कुछ अपने बारे में बताएंगे, अपने प्रोफेशन के बारे में बताएंगे और अपनी जो उनकी टोस्ट मास्टर की जर्नी है उसके बारे में बताएंगे। इनकी जो एक बात मुझे कमाल की लगती है बाकी चीज़ों से भी ऊपर, वो ये है कि जब बोलते हैं वो इंग्लिश हो, हिंदी हो या उर्दू हो, उसमें एक क्लास नज़र आती है। ऐसे लगता है कि उन्होंने एक ख़ास ट्रेनिंग ली है इन पूरी ज़ुबानों के अंदर। बात करते हैं, देखते हैं कि उनकी ज़िंदगी के मज़ीद जो पहलू हैं उस पर भी रोशनी डालेंगे। सर सुदर्शन भाई, वेलकम करते हैं आपको।
थैंक यू।
अगर हम आपके नाम के बारे में पूछें थोड़ा सा,
जी
सुदर्शन शेषाद्री,
जी
इसका मतलब क्या है?
जी देखिए, इसके कई मतलब हैं। एक तो नाम मेरा रिलीजियस है, क्योंकि हम हिंदुओं में माना जाता है कि हमारे जो भगवान हैं उनका एक वेपन जो है उसका नाम सुदर्शन चक्र है, जो कि जिसका काम है कि भूले भटके को रास्ता दिखाना, या रास्ते में अगर कोई आपके रोड़ा है तो उसको हटा देना। ये कहते हैं कि भगवान इसको तब इस्तेमाल करते हैं कि जब उनके सामने ऐसी कोई चीज़ आती है जिसको कि उनको हटाना पड़ता है। लेकिन अगर इसका हम सिर्फ मीनिंग जाने के सुदर्शन का क्या मीनिंग है, इसका मीनिंग है कि जो हमेशा हर चीज़ में कोई अच्छाई देखता है, या जो हमेशा हर कोई चीज़ में कोई सुंदरता देखता है, तो इस तरीके से इसको लिया जा सकता है।
सही है, थैंक यू सो मच अपने नाम का मतलब बताने के लिए। मुझे भी फर्स्ट टाइम पता चला है। मैं हालांकि 2-2.5 साल से आपको जानता हूँ। मुझे पता चला कि आप बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री में हैं।
जी
कब से आप बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री में?
देखिए, बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री से मेरा ताल्लुक़ रहा है करीब अब 26-27 साल होने को आ गए हैं। 1992 में मैंने पहली बारी बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री के अंदर में कदम रखा था। फिर मैंने MBA के लिए बीच में ब्रेक भी लिया। उसके बाद मैं दोबारा से लौट के आया और तब से इसी इंडस्ट्री में हूँ। मुझे बड़ा मज़ा आता है इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर।
आपने ये जवाब तो दे दिया, लेकिन मैं फिर भी सवाल करूंगा
जी
कि बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री क्यों?
जी देखिए, ऐसा है कि जब मैंने पढ़ाई ख़त्म की थी और मुझे ऐसे लगा कि अब नौकरी कर लेनी चाहिए, तो तब मैंने एक्चुअली तो शुरुआत करी थी एक कंपनी जहाँ पे टेलीविज़न, फ्रिज वगैरह वगैरह बनते हैं, और मेरा काम था वहाँ पे ये देखना कि फैक्ट्री से सही तरीके से माल बन के आए और दुकानों में पहुँचे ताकि कस्टमर ख़रीद सके। लेकिन जब मैं दुकानों में जाने लगा और देखा कि कस्टमर ख़रीदते हैं, तो सबसे अव्वल मैंने देखा कि कस्टमर जब कोई चीज़ ख़रीदने आता है तो पहले अपनी जेब की तरफ देखता है, और जेब की तरफ जब देखता है तो पहले सोचता है कि पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे। अक्सर मैं जब दुकानों में खड़ा होता था संडे के दिन, तो मियाँ बीवी के बीच में जो गुफ्तगू होती थी उसमें यही था कि आपने इतनी महंगी क्यों लेनी है फ्रिज, छोटी ले लें, अभी मैं इतनी किस्त नहीं चुका पाऊँगा। जब मैं ये सारी बातें सुनता था मुझे लगता था कि यार ये किस्त क्या चीज़ होती है, ये किस पंछी का नाम है ये। तो जब मैंने देखा कि बैंकिंग वाले जब आते हैं उनका रुतबा ही कुछ और होता है, और जब बैंक वाला कस्टमर से बात करता है तो ऐसे लगता है कि यार ये इस पर कोई एहसान कर रहा है। तो मैंने कहा यार ये कोई अच्छी चीज़ है, यहाँ पे जाके देखना चाहिए। लेकिन जब मैं इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर आया और इसके कई पहलू हैं जो देखे मैंने, तो इतना अच्छा लगने लगा कि देखे, इंसान को जीने के लिए रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान चाहिए, लेकिन इन तीनों चीज़ों को पाने के लिए आपके जितनी मर्जी प्यार हो आपकी ज़िंदगी में, प्यार से पेट नहीं भरता, पैसे से पेट भरता है।
बिल्कुल।
और पैसों का जो कारोबार है वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ बैंकिंग और फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज ही करता है। तो इस वजह से मुझे इसमें इतनी दिलचस्पी आई कि मैं तब से आज तक इसी इंडस्ट्री के दरमियान में घूम रहा हूँ।
बिल्कुल ठीक है। और छोटा सा एक और आपसे इसी इंडस्ट्री के बारे में पूछना, क्या आप अपने आप को कामयाब इंसान समझते हैं इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर? डू यू थिंक यू आर सक्सेसफुल इन दिस इंडस्ट्री?
जी देखिए, कामयाबी के दो पहलू होते हैं। पहला पहलू कामयाबी का ये है कि दूसरे के नज़रिए से मैं कहाँ तक पहुँचा हूँ और मेरा क्या ओहदा बना है और वगैरह वगैरह।
बिल्कुल।
दूसरा कामयाबी का पहला है, जो मैं अपने आप को जब सुबह शीशे में देखता हूँ तब मैं अपने आप के बारे में क्या सोचता हूँ। तो पहला जो पहलू है उसका मेरे ज़िंदगी में कोई अहमियत नहीं है।
Very
आप मेरे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं इससे मैं खास अपने आप को ज़्यादा परेशान नहीं करता। ये कोई गुरूर की बात नहीं है, बस मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि आप मेरे बारे में जो सोचते हैं वो बस सिर्फ आपको जो मेरा एक पहलू नज़र आता है उसकी वजह से आप मेरे बारे में सोचते हैं। क्यों, मेरे पीछे में क्या है, मेरे आगे में क्या होने जा रहा है, नीचे में क्या है, ऊपर में क्या है, आप जानते नहीं और जान भी नहीं सकते।
बिल्कुल ऐसे।
लेकिन जब मैं अपने आप के बारे में सोचता हूँ तो मैं तो अपने आप को बहुत ज़्यादा कामयाब इंसान मानता हूँ। और इस वजह से कामयाब इंसान मानता हूँ कि जहाँ से मैंने शुरुआत की थी कोई ज़रूरत नहीं था कि मैं आज यहाँ तक पहुँचूँ। अगर मैं आज यहाँ तक पहुँचा हूँ तो इसमें ज़रूर मेरी खून, मेरे पसीने की जो अहमियत है वो बहुत बड़ी है। उसके साथ साथ मेरे वालिद वालिदा की जो दुआएं हैं वो भी है, मेरे यार दोस्तों की जो एक कहें एडवाइस या सपोर्ट कह लें वो भी है। उसके साथ में मेरे कई सारे बॉसेस और मेंटर्स रहे हैं जिन्होंने कभी हड़का के या कभी गुस्से से या कभी प्यार से पुचकार के मुझे सिखाया है कि इस रास्ते पे चलो। तो इन सब चीज़ों का एक मिक्सचर जो है वो मैं हूँ आज। इस वजह से मैं अपने आप को बहुत कामयाब मानता हूँ।
बहुत शुक्रिया बड़े अच्छे तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए। और आपने जो बात की वो मेरे दिल के बड़ी करीब है कि दूसरों के ओपिनियन मैटर नहीं करने चाहिए। ये आपके लिए भी यही होना चाहिए पहलू ज़िंदगी के लिए। अभी हम थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में भी जाएंगे।
जी बिल्कुल,
क्योंकि आपसे इंग्लिश में बात करके ज़रा अच्छा लगता है, आपकी इंग्लिश सुन के बड़ा मज़ा आता है।
बहुत
तो
शुक्रिया।
हम पब्लिक स्पीकिंग की बात करेंगे
जी,
कि आप उसमें कैसे आए। सो व्हेन डिड यू जॉइन टोस्टमास्टर्स एंड व्हाई डिड यू जॉइन टोस्टमास्टर्स? Though you can speak English with confidence or speak any language with full confidence, you can face audience, you can take a stance, there is no problem. But I have observed in your public speaking in your life. So why did you join Toastmasters for public speaking?
The story is very interesting actually. The reason why I came into Toastmasters is not because I was seeking a platform for public speaking. Not for a second will I claim that I am all that can be in public speaking, or even I am any good at public speaking. What I know about myself is that I am able to collect my thoughts. I am able to put forth my thoughts in a sequence of words which might make sense to some people. However, the reason why I came into Toastmasters is very strange, if you ask me. The reason why I came into Toastmasters is actually a physical ailment. I was undergoing a severe case of back spasm, and I happened to speak to a friend of mine who said, why don't you come and meet me at so and so place in Satwa, and I am quite sure that you will find a cure for your back pain, and at the same time you might even enjoy what we are doing there. So I landed up at SSY with the idea that I will learn some yoga techniques to release my back spasm. What I found there was a Toastmasters meeting in progress, and he said you have to wait till the Toastmasters meeting is over, and since you have come into the room you cannot go out. So the door got shut and I was sitting there, and as luck would have it, I was given a topic. And if I'm not wrong, about 7 years back when this topic was given, the topic was something that the table topic master at that time said, it's a little complicated, but I'm going to give it to the guest here. And the topic was, what if it was something to do with you don't know your future, how do you plan, or something of that kind. And I spoke for about 2 minutes, and I thought I said some nonsense, and I came back and sat, and after about 10 minutes they announced my name saying you're the best table topic speaker for the evening. So I figured I like to talk, I like to listen to the sound of my voice, and here are people who are going to listen to me for 2 hours and then at the end of the day give me a trophy as well.
Wow.
Fabulous place. I must be here. So last 7 years I've been enjoying this journey.
All right.
And the great thing that has kept me here is people like you that I've met. I've made friends, I've made some deep connections, and I have learned a lot in the process about myself, about the way I think, and about the way I speak, etc., etc. And of course there are so many people that I listen to, and lots of things stay in my memory, and that gives me a great high.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your starting time with Toastmasters. Now, since you have already answered one of my questions, and you are in this fraternity for past 7 years, where do you see yourself in the same fraternity as public speaker or a communicator in next 5 years?
Well,
Are you going to continue this journey?
the short answer is yes. I think now with the advent of pathways, Toastmasters has taken a different turn, and this is a turn for the better according to me.
Alright.
While I started off being very skeptical of pathways, the more I delve into it, the more I realize that there is a lot of value to be made. And like with everything else in life, value is not going to come if you sit back and ask for value to come to you. You have to go seeking it. So within the Toastmasters fraternity, there is a lot of value to be gained. So I see myself as a part of the fraternity. I am not one for titles, I am not one for badges or logos. So I don't know whether I will achieve my DTM, whether I will go on and complete level after level and path after path. I don't know. But what I do see is myself making speeches, being part of meetings,
And
taking on
improving.
roles, and essentially being a part of the fraternity and trying to learn as much from the fraternity as the fraternity is willing to give, and at times even go seeking where there seems to be nothing to seek.
Perfect. One, I don't know if it's a nonsense question. I don't know. Do you still see you have area of improvement in your life which you're seeking from Toastmasters or from your profession? Or you feel like you have reached the pinnacle, and I think, yes, that's contentment. In terms of improvement, I'm talking about.
So the short answer to your question once again is absolutely not. Nowhere close to anything called perfection, and I don't think perfection is a destination. Perfection is, if you follow physics, there is a principle called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which talks about the fact that a particle's position and speed both cannot be determined at the same time accurately. Here again, it is the same. Perfection is not a destination, therefore obviously not attained, neither on the professional side nor on the personal side. That being said, the quest is eternal, and I don't know if you've heard my speech on this topic. I am a firm believer that the miles are more important than the milestones. I don't really think that I will stop being in this quest at any given point in time, and therefore whether it is in Toastmasters or in personal life, it is a question of challenging myself. It's a question of going out there and trying new things or retrying old things to do it better, and that is the only way that you're going to learn, and that's the belief with which I approach everything.
So what I understood, like everyone else out there, you're also seeking improvement every single day.
Absolutely.
Out of your profession, out of this public speaking platform, or from our society, our community. Thank you so much. Now, I have heard and I've experienced there are two paths. Paths mean two directions in Toastmasters. One is communication and one is leadership. And somehow I have experienced both are working together. So where have you reached in leadership?
Okay, so in terms of formal leadership, I have been an area governor when the title used to be called an area governor in the past, and I've been club president multiple number of times. I've been VP education, I've been VP membership, I've been VP PR. So multiple leadership roles at a club level I have taken up. At the district area level, I've gone up to the area governorship. Beyond that, I don't see myself going, and there is a specific reason for that, and the reason is essentially the demands on time. I believe that if you're taking up any role, you need to be able to do justice to that role, and every position, every role comes with its own set of demands with your time. And given my work schedule and given my personal life, I do not see myself being able to devote the kind of time that it requires for me to take up a formal position. However, I'm always open to support and contribute in informal manners.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. Now, a message for the people who are listening to you right now. And there are many people who are your fans in Toastmaster fraternity. I don't know about outside the world. Why should they continue this journey of Toastmasters? And why should they bring their friends and family members to join this fraternity?
Absolutely. So I will answer the second question first. The second part of the question was, why should you bring your friends and family? There is a saying that when joy is shared, it doubles. Same way, when you share something as precious as Toastmasters, you will not just elevate yourself, you will be responsible for elevating a bunch of your friends and relatives. And that's the only reason why you should bring your friends and relatives into Toastmasters. Of course, from a very selfish perspective, your ride to and from the meetings becomes free because your friend will drive you and take you back. And when you share that samosa or that cup of tea with your friend, it makes it that much more special. Last but not least, if you're going to gossip at the back of the room, who better than your close friend or your near relative to say something about somebody else? So for all those reasons, bring your friends. Please don't gossip during meetings. After the meeting, do what you feel like. Now, in terms of the value from Toastmasters, I don't think there is any other platform that offers you learning at your own pace and at the same time a whole holistic learning which is well rounded, and it gives you back as much as you put in. The founder of this fraternity, Ralph C. Smedley, started this program to help individuals improve their communication and leadership skills. And the 4 pillars that we stand upon are respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Literally translates to rise. We rise with Toastmasters, subject to you coming in with an open mind, putting in your 100% for those 2 hours and doing all that it takes to prepare yourself to come to meetings and participate. And what is more important is you are applauded every step of the way. Very seldom do you find a platform where you are applauded even for your mistakes. We literally tell people to follow something known as an Oreo technique. You give feedback in such a way that there is a sweet layer of cream in between even tough feedback, and that's when you learn. Because when you're having fun, as Ralph C. Smedley said, you learn the best and you learn the most. And to have fun, you have to be a Toastmaster.
All right. My first question was, why should they continue this journey?
You should continue this journey because there is so much more to gain by being in this journey. If nothing else, if you are not interested in making speeches, if leadership is not your game, just the level of contacts that you will make, just the sheer amount of networking opportunities that you get, that itself is enough. Whether you are a businessman, whether you are a professional, whether you are a housewife, you get to hear so many new ideas for which you don't need to pay. You get to hear so many new suggestions which you can implement, for which nobody is going to come and monitor you. And above all, it's all done at your pace, at your time, and at your convenience. What more can you seek? These are things that you will not get elsewhere. And that's the reason why you should continue in Toastmasters.
Thank you. And now you got the reason. So no more delays, no more procrastination. Join, become one of your special versions. Mrs. Sudarshan and Toastmaster Sudarshan, where do you see yourself in next 10 years as a professional, including everything in general context?
So as a professional, I definitely do see myself at some point in time becoming an entrepreneur. I am at that stage of my career where I am looking seriously at myself and to see where do I begin to work for myself, because I do not see my professional career ending anytime in the next 25 plus years. And given that I am in an industry which is heavily technology dependent, I see myself and my industry transforming in a very, very profound manner. And therefore, that wave which is going to take this industry forward is what I believe is going to propel me forward. So for that, I see myself acquiring a lot of qualifications, both technical and otherwise, and that is going to help me reach that point where I can set up something on my own.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
If you need any assistance from my side, being an entrepreneur, I am there to assist
I will
you.
always count on you. Amjad.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Now, again, one weird question. Why Sudarshan Seshadri?
Well,
As a society member, I mean to say, in wholesome, you
I
can
know.
discuss
I,
on
I am.
any aspect.
It's a question that is making me pause and think. It is not as if I have anything more than anybody else. I have 2 hands and 2 feet and a pair of eyes and a brain which I hope can think. But at the same time, I also believe, like our fingerprints and like our DNA, each of us is unique. Each of us brings something to the party. And what I bring to the party, according to me, is my deep passion. I've always believed in life that if you are going to swim, dive head first. I don't believe in sticking my toe into the water and checking the temperature. Either I swim or I sink, but I jump in head first. And that is the spirit with which I approach everything. And that is where I get my maximum joy. Because my father taught me that if you're doing something, do it fully. Otherwise, please don't do it at all. And therefore, that is the spirit with which Sudarshan Seshadri comes into everything. You have to take the good with the bad. I will come in with my passion, but I will also come in with my requirements or my demands, which at times may sound unreasonable, but deep down I always believe that it is only by pushing each other to attain our best that collectively we will attain much more than what is 1 plus 1. I always believe that 1 plus 1 does not need to always make 2. It can make 11, it can make 111, it can make anything, subject to both of us being able and willing to push ourselves to achieve better than what our best is.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Something more personal. How good Sudarshan is as a family member?
It's a question that I don't think I should be answering. The reason being, I always will give me a score of 10 on 10. But the question to be asked is from my wife and my sons. And I live for them. So I think that's all that I can say.
No, I would believe when you said 10 out of 10, because the thing is, this is how what we think about our family, and this is how we give them back. And this is what we are looking for actually. This is what people expect. And again, how people think and perceive is completely different.
Absolutely.
Even including our family members. And I agree with you that you are giving yourself 10 out of 10. This is called conviction and diligence association with your family.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And how good Sudarshan is a society member?
I think the journey is very long for me. I try to be as noble in my thoughts and in my deeds as I can be. But there is an old saying which says, one man's meat is other man's poison. I really don't know. I am trying to get to that point where all my actions, all my words, all my thoughts are coming out of an opportunity to do something good. Am I there? Not even close. Do I sometimes react in an adverse manner? Yes, of course. But at the same time, I believe I'm not carrying any malice in my heart, and therefore, even if I am reacting in a way in which is not publicly acceptable, it's coming from a good place. However, I don't expect anybody to pay any credence to that and give me even a quarter of an inch on that count. So I think there is a long way for me to go to improve myself to be a good society member, not even a great society member, a good society member.
All right, thank you so much. Now the question I'm going to ask you, I should have asked you as a first question, but no problem nevertheless. where did you learn this English pronunciation, enunciation, and what do you call vocabulary, including English, Hindi, Urdu? Where did you learn, and how we can improve upon?
So, the one cliched answer I will give you is books, books, books. What happened in my life is a case study in itself. So, what happened very early in my life was, my father was a man of modest means. However, even in that modest circumstance, the one thing that he would not hesitate to spend on were books. So, at any given point in time at home, we had some or the other magazine, some or the other books coming in. And given that our means were not so much, we didn't have too many toys to play with, etc. So somehow at a very early age, I gravitated towards picking up books and looking at pictures. And I would pester my father to read to me. Sometimes it used to be a political magazine, sometimes it used to be something related to his work, sometimes it used to be a casual tabloid, sometimes it was a newspaper, and that's where it started. And from there onwards, I have been incredibly lucky that at various times, various people have appeared in my life and they have created this enhanced passion for reading. So my first teacher in grade 3, because I was making too much noise in class and I was generally disruptive and I literally was on her table, she took me by hand one afternoon and said, "Come with me," in a very stern voice. And I thought, today is the day I'm going to be expelled from school. But she took me to a small room, took out a green colored book and gave it in my hand and said, "Sit here and read this, and read it loudly. After you've read it, come to class and tell people what you read." The book that she gave me was a ladybug book, and the story was Jack and the Beanstalk. I still very vividly remember it was raining outside like it is today. I was sitting in that room all by myself, ready to cry, but after I turned the second page of the book, I was in a different world. And that day two things happened. I discovered that reading books is real fun and you can instantly transfer yourself to another world. And the second thing was, I loved the sound of my voice. When I was reading it loudly, I was enunciating and I was enacting the story according to me. And when I came back to class, she put me in front of 50 children and said, "Now tell everyone the story."
What did you read?
And I said the story, and from that day, my name became Sudarshan Story, because all my friends during recess would come and say, "Tell us a story." And from the age of 6, I've been telling stories. And to tell stories, you need to read. So that is a virtuous cycle that I've been in, and that has led me to my English knowledge. My Hindi, again, thanks largely to my teachers who inspired the love for the language in me. And Urdu, surprisingly, taxi drivers. I learned the language by speaking to as many people as I could, and the best place that I could learn was taxi drivers, both here and back home in India. And somehow उर्दू जब कानों पे आपके महसूस होती है तो ऐसा एक लुत्फ आता है कि आप किसी और दुनिया में चले जाते हो,
गज़लों की दुनिया में।
बिल्कुल, गज़लों की, शायरों की, और मुख्तलिफ पहलू हैं इस लैंग्वेज के कि जो आपको अपनी तरफ इतना खींचते हैं कि आप उसमें रमते जाते हो। और मैं तो अपने आप को उर्दू में कोई महारत नहीं रखता, मैं बस कोशिश करता हूँ कि कहीं से कोई अल्फाज सीख लूँ और उनको इस्तेमाल करके देखूँ। जब मैं इस्तेमाल करता हूँ तो मुझे अपने कानों पे अच्छा लगता है, तो इसीलिए मैं उसको और कोशिश करता हूँ। लेकिन बात जाहिर यह है कि उर्दू ज़ुबान में कोई एक ऐसी खासियत है जिसके तरफ मैं खिंचता जा रहा हूँ, और कोशिश ये कर रहा हूँ कि मैं लिखना पढ़ना भी सीख लूँ, ताकि मैं इस ज़ुबान में लिखे हुए किताबों को पढूँ, इस ज़ुबान में ओरिजिनल तरीके से मैं जो शायरी है वो पढूँ, ताकि अपने आप को और इम्प्रूव कर सकूँ।
ग्रेट, थैंक यू सो मच। तो जो मुझे समझ आई ये है कि आप जितना पढ़ सकते हैं, जितना बोल सकते हैं, किसी भी ज़ुबान पे आप महारत हासिल कर सकते हैं।
जी बिल्कुल,
पढ़ना बोलना ज़रूरी है,
बिल्कुल ज़रूरी है।
तो वो आपके नक्श हो जाएगा जहनों में,
बिल्कुल।
आपकी आंखों में, आपके दिल में, हर जगह पे। बहुत शुक्रिया। अभी लास्ट में आप अगर हमारे चाहने वालों को, हमारे दोस्तों को, हमारे प्यारों को कोई मैसेज देना चाहें एज ए सोसाइटी मेंबर, क्या होना चाहिए?
जी देखिए,
कॉमन मैसेज।
जी देखिए, हमेशा एक चीज़ हमें ध्यान में रखना चाहिए कि हम जितना गुस्से को और जितना क्लेश को अपने दिल में दबाए रखते हैं, हम मुफ्त में किसी और को अपने दिलो दिमाग में रहने का एक ओहदा दे देते हैं। और जब आपने अपने दिल और दिमाग में किसी और को रख लिया है तो आप अपने लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते। सो जाहिर बात यह है कि सबसे पहले आप अपने आप से खुश हों, क्योंकि जब इंसान अंदर से खुश होता है तो वो अपने आसपास में जो खुशियां बांट सकता है वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से कर सकता है। जब तक कि वो ना हो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते। तो सोसाइटी में आपको अगर कुछ भी कंट्रीब्यूट करना है तो सबसे पहले अपने आप को खुश करें। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ कि अच्छे कपड़े पहने, अच्छा खाना खाएं, बड़ी सी गाड़ी खरीदें, वो नहीं कह रहा हूँ। मैं कह रहा हूँ कि आप अपने दिल से, अपने मन से खुश हो। और इसका एक ही तरीका है कि आपके अंदर में जो मलबा दबा हुआ है, कि जिसकी वजह से आपको या गुस्सा आता है, या आपको मायूसी होती है, या आपको ऐसे लगता है कि यार दूसरे के साथ कुछ अच्छा हो गया, मेरे साथ क्यों नहीं हुआ, इन चीज़ों को जब तक आप छोड़ नहीं सकते आप सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते। क्योंकि हर चीज़ में फिर एक उस चीज़ की बू आएगी कि ये इंसान अपने लिए कर रहा है। जब तक के, जैसे नेल्सन मंडेला को जब जेल से रिहा किया गया था तो उन्होंने कहा था कि इफ़ आई डोंट लीव माई एंगर, माई डिसगस्ट, माई envy for everything else in this jail, I am going to remain a prisoner. If I remain a prisoner, I can never release my country and I can never give back to society. And that is a fact. जिस दिन तक आप खुद अपने जेल में बंद हो, आप दूसरों के लिए क्या कर सकते हो? तो पहले आप अपने दिल को और अपने दिमाग को रिहा करें और ये समझें कि ये ज़िंदगी आपके लिए एक गिफ्ट है, एक देन है, और आप जितना देंगे उतना ज़िंदगी आपको लौटा के देगी। तो जब तक कि आप ये नहीं समझेंगे आप सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते। तो पहले मैसेज आपको यही दूंगा कि अपने आप को रिहा करें। क्योंकि देखें, एक चीज़ जो मैंने सीखी है अपनी ज़िंदगी के तजुर्बे से, वो ये है कि आपका जो है वो सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ आपको मिलेगा, और जब उसको मिलना है आपके लिए तभी वो मिलेगा, ना वक्त से पहले ना वक्त से ज़्यादा। तो ये अगर आप समझ लें तो एवरीथिंग एल्स बिकम्स ईजी, बिकॉज वॉट इज़ योर्स इज़ ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी योर्स। You do not need to do anything different from what you're doing. However, when you give back, you receive much more in return, and it comes to you from multiple ways, and that's the only way to be in society.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster and Mr. Sudarshan, for coming and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you very much.
दोस्तों, जैसा कि मैंने आपसे वादा किया हुआ कि आपको इंस्पायरिंग पर्सनैलिटीज़ और स्टोरीज से मुतारिफ़ करवाता रहूँगा। हर वीडियो के अंदर आपको किसी ना किसी शख्स को, किसी पर्सनैलिटी को लेके आऊँगा जो अपने बारे में बताएंगे और बताएंगे अपनी सक्सेस स्टोरी। अगर आप भी सक्सेसफुल बनना चाहते हैं तो आपको अपने आप पे फोकस करना पहले ज़रूरी है। ये जितनी भी स्टोरीज़ हैं, जितनी भी इंट्रोडक्शंस हैं, जितने भी ये सेशंस हैं, ये सिर्फ इंस्पायर करने के लिए। ये आपकी ज़िंदगी नहीं चेंज कर सकते जब तक आप अपने आप से वादा नहीं करेंगे, अपने आप को डिग आउट नहीं करेंगे, अपने आप को खराशेंगे नहीं, तब तक कुछ नहीं होने वाला। आपकी ड्राइव आप ही हो, आपकी मोटिवेशन आप ही हो, आपका गोल, आपके बॉस, आपकी हर चीज़ आप ही हो। ये है फाइनल मैसेज मेरी तरफ से। मैं सुदर्शन साहब का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि हमें उन्होंने इतना टाइम दिया और अपने बारे में बताया। अगर आपके पास भी ऐसी कोई स्टोरी है, आप भी हो सकते हैं, मुझे कॉल करें, मुझे लिखें, मैं आपको बुलाऊँगा, आपकी स्टोरी पूरी दुनिया के सामने पब्लिश करूँगा। फाइनली, अपना ख्याल रखना कभी मत भूलिएगा।